From the whole building, only 3 people they care. The rest of the people, you know what they told me? I already paid.
Oh.
Then other people like, I don't have money, I have to sell it. But
Yeah.
nobody say any words. We don't have a meeting like this, we have a webinars. And the manager company, you don't see the people, the manager company, you see the talking, but you don't see his face,
Right.
okay?
So when people come into meetings and they're a little nasty, like the person in the back last time, when you said what to me when I was leaving?
What?
With the turquoise.
Spineless? maybe?
Yeah, you called me
Right.
spineless because I left the
Yeah,
meeting,
that's
I don't
like-
need to be insulted,
Don't
and
be
I'm not
nasty,
kidding.
because we live here, we had
So
to.
we're talking to people, wait, we're talking
We
to
got
people
them
like
all.
you that abuse us. Randy, stay for 1 second, will you? Okay. Randy, thank you for bringing it up about the 800,000. I just wanted to, can you wait 1 second? So that 800,000 was not money that we had to just spend. Some people heard the number and thought, oh, we have 800,000, why don't we do a $100,000 entrance, and why don't we do this and that? No, all of that money was already set aside for
Spoken for.
Reserves.
reserves. Thank you.
But these things come up that we can't,
So that's what I wanted to say.
the funds have to be replenished.
Okay.
We can't, when I leave in April, I will make sure a bank statement is sent out to everybody, because I'm sure there will be an accusation coming from maybe somebody you know. And everything will be fine, and there's an audit every year. Do you know, Diego, do they do audits over in,
If he's been making.
River Terrace, any audits?
What?
Audits.
Audited financial statements? Do you, I would bet $1 they don't, but I don't know, I can't, and I don't bet, so.
We have
You
to-
do one every year
We
here.
have to talk with the real people, because if you send some emails to the manager company,
Yeah,
they never return.
they never return your emails, yeah, and
That happens at
stupid,
River Bend
Whatever you
also.
say over there,
Yeah.
it's like nobody do now.
stupid Tony answers them on the weekend, so stupid.
So
So,
what
that's
you
been
get
That's
stupid.
they
here-
self-manage. These management companies, as a realtor for 100 years now, the management companies are hell.
Yeah, so if you
So anybody
guys,
wants to go to management
Yeah.
company, let me know if that's our
Well,
direction.
well, no, that is your
Their
direction.
incentive is to give jobs to the highest bidder because hell, they're gonna get 5%.
They're gonna get their
of
percentage,
that.
yeah.
So
It's a
people-
scam.
So there's no incentive to
Why are you saying it's
economize or
going to
shop
management
around.
company? That's a
Why?
decision for the board to make.
Why would we wanna-
Well, you don't think they're gonna run, and I'm gonna be here next year, do you really think they're gonna run again?
with all the harassment and stuff we get, like,
We should have an
we just
assistant
brought
who's
it up,
training.
quiet,
Sorry?
like the guy in the back. And now I brought it up, and he doesn't apologize, he just restates it.
All right.
Why don't
Why
you
should I?
apologize?
You don't
So why
answer
am I
questions.
spineless?
You didn't answer simple questions about the accounting, that's your job. That's.
No, it's not my
treasurer.
job, no,
You're the treasurer, right?
right, so,
And there was a financial question that was asked, and you didn't have the answer, it was a simple.
right, you can't know a specific amount every day of the month, because you have money coming in and money going out. So then you start calling names. How
You're-
old are
you're-
you?
You're on the
How
board.
old are you?
You're supposed to take
See,
questions.
so you
and
may
weren't
not.
answering questions.
So I just want to say, so this is why we don't have us that are good people, that do good things for this community. We really don't have an interest in being this support anymore. So if it goes to management and your things double, whatever it is, that's on people like this that make it difficult. So I just want to put it out there.
And you will be ignored, that will be the simple thing, he just said it, 2 people, they both have the same management company, right? Both have Royal Management, it's not me saying it, they're saying, you write them, they get ignored, you get ignored,
But a
so.
management company
So
is
there
not
you
in
go.
lieu of a board, you still need board of directors. So that's a misconception that people think, oh, they'll just take it over.
Oh,
You
well,
still need a
Janet, let
board
me
of
give you
directors.
some information. When you have a management company, you sign a contract, and the board, yes, it appears the board is making all the decisions. But not necessarily. You know, you remember, we had a manager taking care of Middle River Club.
Yeah, I remember all that.
You know who was taking really care of it? And you know, I'll tell you something now. They wouldn't send any checks out unless 2 people agreed. You know, you had to sign, the email came to Peg and the one over there, and they had to sign off on it, right? It was the Middle River Club account, right? You think that, right? Well, when we ended the relationship, I said to Peg, don't sign off on their final check yet, because we have to get everything back, the clickers, the da. You know what? I didn't get everything back, but they took their money out of the account. So, and then in talking to another management company that your neighbor recommended to us, because, you know, we want to be fair and open, right? We want to learn. I asked about that, and he says, no, we do have access, but the board usually signs off on it. And when we had the management company for Middle River Club, what was the term Andrew used to use in regard to vendors? Peg, do you remember? Preferred vendors?
Oh, yeah, we have a.
They had preferred vendors.
3 times more than what we would pay for an
So-
electrician, a plumber, or whatever, yeah.
You know, and what we went through spending because we had to appease River Bend and River Terrace about the dock lights, what we wasted, I don't know, 20 grand because it was, I charged back $100 for the electric, which was in the condo docks. But to appease them so I wasn't stealing from them, we went and spent $20,000, and then it had to be fixed, and that, and the guy
They're a
was
disaster.
whatever.
I know, I've worked with them for all these years in real estate, since 1985.
Yeah. So,
Terrible.
you know, the reality of it is, folks, life is not too bad around here. This is a very minimal special assessment. And Robert, you asked all very good questions. Unfortunately, you just need to do a little research that will have them all answered. And instead of asking certain people, maybe around the pool,
I'm
you
not
should just
asking
send.
anyone around the pool.
Then,
My
well-
questions were honest.
Well, no, then you need to write an email to the office, excuse me, you need to write it, like I've said in other email, sending out notices. If you really have a question of burning, send an email to the office, and if, you know, it's phrased fairly reasonably, you will get a response.
I don't mean to be rude, and I'm not being rude, but I think sometimes you're characterizing me in a fashion that's not accurate.
Okay.
And that's why I interrupted you, and I'm sorry that I
Okay.
interrupted you.
No, that's fine. It's just the way you kind of, yes, it was respectful, but again, this is not the time. You already admitted we can't discuss legal matters. So there's everything on the clerk of the court stuff. All you had to do was ask, and, you know, somebody asked the other day, I put that, go look. I mean, it's all out there.
Very well. Well, thank you.
So when is the next meeting?
December.
December.
Thank you.
I understand writing the email. It's just that sometimes to socialize the information, it's like, it's good to talk, it's good to ask questions, it's
Right.
good to listen to others.
It's excellent to listen to, particularly when they have no clue what they're talking about. I believe in that.
Because sometimes we have to educate people. I don't know a lot of stuff about this.
Yeah.
I'm going to educate myself. I know a lot about other stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
You
about
speak
the-
4 languages,
I
don't you?
speak 4
Yeah, lo
languages.
siento,
I
you
am
know,
a doctor,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I know, I don't do that. I wish I did.
But about this, I have to educate myself, right? And yes, being a board member, I am a board member of the school education here, a board member of the Oakland Park. And yes, it is a tough place because sometimes people wants to say things and might express themselves using words that are not appropriate, right? But I don't, we can lose the objective of this, I think, you know, which is to get to things.
So let me address something for you. This will help, hopefully, again, as a reminder. You have to understand, it's not because we don't want to hear what you have to say. But unfortunately, you know, this is a business, in a sense. This is a very unusual business model in that you're dealing with neighbors, you're dealing with people's emotions, you're dealing with people's rights. You're dealing with a lot of things that it can't always be run as a business. It's a difficult thing. So when there's a board meeting, it really is to conduct board business. And me acting as the manager, they count on me. Of course, if you knew how many emails they get with information, not every little thing they get, but on fairly important matters they do. And don't think your comments are not you, but a lot of people's comments are not forwarded to them. You'd be surprised some of those emails.
Tony, excuse me.
Yes.
We've got Helen hanging on here.
Oh,
Why
Helen,
don't we adjourn,
yeah,
and then we can
I'm
have
sorry,
the chat,
Helen,
continue
thank
the
you.
chat.
I'm so
Motion
sorry.
to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
But this is helping Jacqueline and hopefully some other people. If you're really interested in information,
Helen.
hi, Tony, I was just curious about, not, some of them, I don't even want to discuss. It's just incredible. But most people, they rather listen by the pool or walking in the hallways about something. It's an emotional issue if something is not done the way they think. So rather than have an emotional issue over it, simply say, like for instance, why isn't the pool done? Well, just to give somebody, and since you're here, I think I mentioned this to you. River Terrace wanted to have a Middle River Club board meeting on the update of the pool. Well, we don't have a board meeting for an update on the pool. When the time was to vote for that, the vendors, we had to have a board meeting, the 3 vendors were presented. That particular representative did not show up. He could have showed up, he
From
could have
River
been
Terrace.
for River Terrace.
From
He'd
River Terrace.
be there by phone like Helen was interested today. But he chose not to. Well, they decided to get their attorney, which is every legal right to do. And their attorney wrote Fred, wrote me at River Shores, because he knows I'm on the board, and wrote the vendor, and wrote the Middle River Club attorney. So we have a bunch of dynamics in this. So the dynamics is the Middle River Club attorney is going to charge because he has to read the email. So, right. It was a request to have a board meeting. Well, it was not necessary to have a board meeting. All they had to do was, and why would they use the lawyer? Now you know where your funds are going. So, again, it puts an edge. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't necessary, but that's what they thought was appropriate. Was it legal? Absolutely. Was it appropriate? What could I say? So the best way to handle at least this administration for the next 6 months is if you really have a burning question, that's the way to handle it. We're not going to get in the middle of neighbor disputes. We're not going to get into you don't like this. Sometimes our hands are legally tied. Many issues they are, believe you me. So it is what it is. That's why our time is done. So hopefully somebody will run more intelligent, more, into committees, and we'll see what that brings for next year. And willing to have board meetings every month to do whatever you need so people are comfortable. But again, you get a audited report every year. As a matter of fact, they go very smoothly, the audits, because everything's in order. Oh, which brings up another subject, bringing up an order, and your attorney over there. You'll find this fun. We got a records request from River Terrace. They wanted to see the Middle River Club records, but it came from the attorney. So, it's not a big deal. This is, by the way, the second time. The first time we got one was from River Bend, and he wanted to go back 7 years, and he took pictures of everything, never did anything with it. So we had the appointment. The attorney came with their client, River Terrace, and of course I had everything in order because, they have to give a list. And the attorney was a little bit surprised I had everything right, Peg? You were both there.
Gave him copies of everything.
Yeah. And of course, nothing came out of it. But again, what was the purpose of bringing the lawyer?
Intimidation.
Aggravation.
Well, it's okay. And then they were both there, by the way, watching the whole thing. Not because I needed witnesses, but just to observe what the situation was. And we were there just under 2 hours of just looking. And of course, we're shuffling papers, but did we really understand anything? No, it looked good. So,
Tony,
yes.
Sorry, I interrupted
No,
you
please.
about the lawyer. I understand Middle River Club is about the
The
three
three.
associations.
Right,
And River Shore have 3 boats.
correct.
It's 101 and 2.
Correct.
That's never gonna change.
Never. I wish I wanted it to.
Exactly.
The lawyer said I couldn't do it. We couldn't do
I'll
it.
tell you just what I told them, because they begin speaking one person with me, I don't wanna say name. And I said, you guys, you spend the extra money you think we have, and lawyers, because they think they're gonna get a Middle River Club. And I said, how are you gonna get a Middle River Club? Just check out the map, how many square feet River Shore have, how many square feet River Terrace have, how many square feet River Bend have. And River Shores, they have more square feet. That's why you have 3 boats, I think so.
And we pay 63%.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. So do you know what I tried to
They
do?
think they're gonna get the Middle River Club.
Right, and I wanted it to be, we actually discussed this, because they resent, and he said it that day, if you remember, well, you always have 3 votes. Well, they don't take into account, we also pay 63%. They cannot,
Yes.
both buildings do not get that understanding.
And if they were willing to pay 63%, I still don't think we could turn it around, could we?
So what I
You
did,
shut up, be a good neighbors, because many people for River Bend, they wanna be a good neighbor too. I know many people there too,
Sure.
and here too. But the problem with the association, they fighting each other, and we cannot do nothing.
I get it. Either we
They
tried,
enter,
we
they
tried.
wanna spend $1 million too in the enter. Let's go do something simple. Let's go finish something faster. If the 3 associations, work together, I think we can do better.
Thank you for
And-
the time.
Absolutely, Diego. Do you know they were invited upstairs
Every time
and
they say
discussions
something,
privately? What could we do to make, right? You were there, Peg was there. We invited them upstairs.
And
We
another
had-
thing, don't make any commitment about fixing things, because many more people, they have more ideas. It's worse.
yeah.
What Diego is saying,
Like
about
what?
the different numbers, 1 vote, and 3 votes, by the number of square feet, that's accurate. But when people are limited to one number, one vote, they think, oh, now we're never gonna get our way. There are 5 votes altogether, right?
Yeah, but that's the way
And
you
when
speak.
when we vote with our 3 votes, we vote for the whole place. It's not like, oh, we're voting for something to hurt so-and-so building or them. No. Their fear is they don't have the control, and so they think, oh, we gotta keep doing everything to keep fighting River Shores and River Shores. What the hell? That, all it's doing is taking up money. When we vote for stuff, we vote in very healthy ways for everybody. It just isn't always what they want. It seems they always have their hand out, they want, but do they want to give? No, I don't see that. So,
We
you know
tried,
that-
Diego.
You know that we are,
And
we,
the attitude is demanding
oh.
and
so-
demeaning. Tony is a volunteer for managing the business of Middle River Club. He doesn't get paid for that. He pays the bills, he writes the checks, he does everything. He doesn't like to be treated like a servant or talked down to by these people. He gives his own free will, his own time to do it, and there's never a thank you. There's always suspicion and lawyers, and
Name calling.
they're not nice
I know,
people.
I know, that's what I never gonna be in the board.
Yeah.
I did one
So-
time before directors, and I say no.
Yeah, well, that's the
But
problem,
sorry,
Diego.
I know I have to be more involved. I've been involved now in the committee, well, for checking out how they're gonna do it, where the $2 million they're gonna do it. I went with the vendor, because nobody know anything about construction. Nobody know about concrete. Nobody know about the metal, about the, the screen doors?
Yeah.
The screens?
Yeah,
At the first floor, you can change the screens for outside, because you have access.
Right.
Second to the, whatever, we have 7, you
7.
have to change the screen door for inside, the screen for inside. It had to be, because, and this guy didn't know anything. They say, oh, we're gonna change the metal, and we're gonna install the screens. I said, how are you gonna install the screen? Because we have, many people have a shadows. You put the metals, and another vendor gonna install the screens. It's gonna be impossible.
Yeah.
so,
They don't know anything.
Correct.
I'd like to go over there, and then now I know what I'm gonna do. I explained it, and I say, oh, really? Oh, okay. And then
yeah. See,
they're gonna change the.
when I don't know something,
The way.
which is on a lot of things, didn't I ask you? Right. I don't have to know everything, but I have to have enough sense to say to somebody, what do you think? You do this, right? I don't know, we don't know everything, but
Think it through, walk it.
yeah,
through.